My name's Andy Valentine, go by Valentine Cosplay, and I'm a cosplayer. So if anyone doesn't know, I create costumes based off various kind of fandoms, I guess, and I make weapons and props and armour and all that kind of stuff, and then wear them to various conventions around the country, showing off my work. And I also compete quite a lot in like professional costume competitions. It actually happened a couple of years ago. One of my friends suggested that we go to a Comic-Con, and something I've always wanted to do because I've always been kind of in that geeky mindset, and it's one of those things that I always thought, yeah, well, maybe one day I'll go and do it, and I'd never had the kick up the arse to actually go. And then my mate suggested it, so I was like, yeah, okay, great, let's do it. And I couldn't imagine not going in a costume of some description. And I didn't really know much about cosplay at the time. I just knew that when people go to Comic-Cons, they dress up as these characters and they always look great. So it was something I just wanted to do. So I started making this first costume, which was a version of Ezio from Assassin's Creed, and had to learn a lot in the process because I'd never used a sewing machine, never done anything with fabric or armour or leather or anything like that. So I had to learn all these skills and these processes, and just fell in love with it and couldn't then stop making things. And now 2 years later I'm still spending every day making things, and it's great. I love it. Competing and becoming a guest is, it kind of happened quite randomly. I went to this first convention and there was a masquerade competition, which is kind of like the most entry-level competition that people do. You literally walk on, strike a few poses, and then walk off, and then you'll be judged on the quality of your costume and all that kind of stuff. And so I went and I did that one and didn't place or didn't do very well. It was my first costume though, so couldn't really ask for much. So I thought to myself, well, the next time I go to a con, I want to do something that I think will actually do quite well in a competition. So I made this version of Commander Shepard's armour from Mass Effect 2. And I actually took it to Cardiff, entered the competition there and won. And winning that kind of gave me the spark to do more. So I started entering slightly higher level competitions, and now I try to enter the highest level competitions that I can in the UK and hopefully soon abroad. And it's just came quite naturally for me, really, being quite competitive anyway, combining that with, you know, wanting to see how my stuff stacks up against the best that there is out there. It was a bit of a natural precursor for me to go down that route. Commissioning came in kind of a few months after I'd started making costumes. I think I've always had an eye for detail and always created things in various formats. I've been an artist and I've done photography, so actually, you know, seeing a constructed item is something I've always been naturally, I guess, pretty good at. And I guess people liked the quality of the items that I was producing. And a few months into my like cosplay journey, someone said to me, "Oh, I'm doing this costume. I wonder if you could create me a knife." It was just a little foam knife to go with a thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure I could do that. I think I charged them something like 25 quid for something that I would now charge 10 times that for, because now I'm a lot better at it, and now the number of people wanting things from me is much higher. And so I made this thing for someone, and then they recommended me to someone else, and then the popularity of the page continued to grow to the point now where I get 2 or 3 requests for items every day, and it's been really kind of flattering that people actually want my work more than anything else. And it's not something I ever expected to be doing, but it's really wonderful that people like want to have my work, and that it goes all over the world. I have props now in, I think, 17 countries, and you know, if people keep coming to me with these cool things that they want making, you know, I'm always up for making something, you know, that I wouldn't necessarily make for myself, but that is still something that's really fun to build. So it just was I guess a natural process of being, you know, quite good at it, and people wanting the work. So it was, yeah, very good. for people who are starting out, the best thing to do is don't be too hard on yourself, and don't go around comparing yourself to the people who are the best or who are very, very good, because it's very easy to kind of look at some of this brilliant stuff that people create and think to yourself, my stuff's crap comparatively, and that can put a lot of people on a downer. Now, it's not about that. You know, if the first thing you create is really simple and plain, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're creating something based on a fandom that you love, and you're like bringing a character from whether it's a TV series or a comic or whatever, you're bringing that character to life because you have that love and affliction for the character. And I would say the best piece of advice is, yeah, don't compare yourself to people, and just get into it and just be inspired by it and see what comes of it, really.
To kill a man at his dinner table bores me. To spend hours toiling over a hot stove, mixing and measuring, bores me. The way that we come into this world is always so entertaining, and it is up to the likes of me to make sure that his end is worth our wait.
Popularity with costuming is a very fickle thing, really. I don't make the illusion that I'm like famous in any way, but my stuff has become popular, and I think a lot of that comes down to the choice of costumes that I've created. The Game of Thrones stuff, most recently, my Oberon cosplay, is by far the thing that I've gained most notoriety for and most fame for, because people love the character, and looking quite naturally like Pedro Pascal was very beneficial for that, and the photos that have appeared of that have gone hugely viral and been shared all over the internet. And the fact that I still get people send me links saying, oh my god, you've seen you on this website, oh my god, da 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 da, and things just appear everywhere, and that has just kind of, it's resulted in the 4,500 people who are now following my page. I used to get really, really excited about numbers of people who would follow my page. I remember the first time I hit 100 and I was like, oh my god, 100 people following my page. And then a month or so later I hit 1,000, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and closing in on 5. And I don't try to think about it too much, and it's not something I would have ever expected, but it's very flattering that the number of people who do follow me do and enjoy the work that I produce.